Hello, hello. Welcome back to Quarter Life Chit Chat, the podcast where I pretend like I have it all together, but in reality, I'm just surviving for good food, bad conversations, and dealing with midlife crisis. Or I guess the better word would be quarter life crisis. I'm your host, Nav, your favorite brown boy, and your official expert in winter hibernation season. And I am back, baby. I'm back from my fucking winter slumber. Okay? And let me tell you, folks, if there was a goddamn medal of hibernating, sleeping, and lastly being a lazy sack of shit, trust me, I'd be the Michael Phelps or Muhammad Ali of that sport. And I know. It has been a hot minute since we've talked. I think the last episode I made was sometime in November, and trust me, I know what you're thinking. Where's Nav been up to? Has he offed himself because of all the med school rejections? Has he joined a cult? Did he create a cult? Has he developed some mesmerizing, eloquent, and amazing dance career from his TikTok? And let me tell you, boys, the answer to all those questions is no. I have really been doing the most daring thing possible, which is, well, living on my fantasy of being a fucking burrito and watching hella Netflix, okay? And let me tell you, it's been fucking bliss. It's been pure fucking bliss. But in my hibernation season, because God just loves me that much, the tea never stopped. But as you know, there's nothing more in the world brown people like me love more than drama. I fucking love it. So today, I'm diving into what I'm calling my hibernation season. Or, in other words, what I also call it to make myself feel a little better is my off season. Spoiler alert, it involves a lot of snacks, some tears, rejections, hella drama, and a very, very intimate relationship with my blanket and my laptop. Actually, on a hindsight, that sounds so wrong. That sounds so fucking wrong. But without further ado, let's buckle up and let's get this fucking show on the road, okay? So, last we spoke, I don't even remember when I made that episode. I think it was in the end of November, perhaps even first week of December. And boy, have things been going interesting. So let's start off with the most important thing. December, as you know, is my favorite time of the year because it's Christmas and I get to receive some wonderful, wonderful presents from Santa, or as I mostly call him, my parents. And Christmas was wonderful, but you know what else December is very, very popular in my life for? It's the rejection season. As you know, I applied to a bunch of medical schools and, I'm supposed to hear back from them, particularly UBC. And I officially have the news, fellas. I have achieved a new status this past holiday season. As you knew me prior, I was once rejected med student, but now I'm a multiple times rejected med student. That's right, folks. I have elevated up in the ranks of rejections that go for med schools. Your boy leveling up, okay? Which is crazy because the leveling up I'm doing in my rejections is actually really shitty. But the leveling up I'm doing in terms of making money is actually lower. I've somehow made less money this year. It's wild. Because I didn't think I could make less money. I'm pretty sure I might just be on welfare, as my friend Taylor says. So the fact that I've somehow made less money is wild. But the fact that I've gained more rejections from med school and my career is fascinating. And, I know you might be wondering, damn, Nav, that sucks, bro. You must be hella depressed. And let me tell you, I'm not. I was, but I'm not. And the reason behind that is, I thought about it, and my thing is everything happens for a reason. But this time I'm not so mad. Last year when I applied to UBC, I was rejected by, they grade your file, and I was rejected, I believe, by 9%. I was close to getting an invite, and I missed the mark or the threshold to be invited for interviews by 9%. This year, I missed the threshold by, I think, 1%. And what a fucking disgrace that was. I was hella pissed. And I know what you must be thinking. Damn, Nav. You were so close, yet so far. Which is ironic, because that's exactly what I say to myself when I try to grab an item from the top shelf in a supermarket. Because, I'm short, so I'm always like, so close, yet so far. Uh, but this time, I wasn't as disappointed last year. I was angry as fuck. Don't get me wrong. I was like, dude, are you joking me? I got rejected by 1% Is this a joke? But to me, you know what that tells me? Is the third time's the charm. Okay, I'm going to be acting like recurring fucking cancer. Because next year, I'm fucking back on this train, baby. I'm about to apply again. And I missed the mark by 1%. You're telling me by just statistically, next year, I might have an interview? Sick. So, things could be worse. But there is a little bit of caveat. You see, I believe it was December 14th or maybe the 13th. And, I was obviously feeling anxious and a little nervous about receiving the letter from UBC, whether I'm accepted for an interview or whether I'm rejected. And my mom, to distract me, God bless that cute woman, she was like, Nav, let's go to mall and we'll do some Christmas shopping and whatnot. So I said, okay, mother. And, I'm finally coming out of my cocoon and I'm able to relax a little bit. And the moment I start enjoying myself, bam, my phone buzzes and I get the email. Obviously, it's a rejection, blah, blah, blah. And, I try to access my file on the UBC portal to see by how much percent I got rejected by. But their servers were fucking crashed because I think 3,000 plus people applied. And they just completely destroyed the server because everybody was trying to check their file. And I was like, okay, unfortunate. 6-7 hours into the day, after receiving my rejection, the servers are working and I can check my files. And I realized that I got 1% behind from getting interview. But things got worse. You see, I went to sleep with peace because in a way, when you get rejected, and it's a bummer, it sucks, especially during Christmas season. But the thing is, you're no longer in a limbo. You're no longer in a limbo of I need an answer or what is the answer. You can finally rest, relax, and de-stress and focus on the things that matter, which is eating junk food during Christmas time and gaining 20 fucking pounds, which I did not do, by the way, but I did gain 3 pounds. So, there's that fucking Christmas weight to lose. But the next morning, I woke up and I have a brand new fucking email from UBC and it says, UBC application urgent. And I was like, oh my God, I am the chosen one. They changed their mind. They realized that rejecting people at 1% is kind of a dickhead move. So we're going to invite now for an interview. I shit you not, people. I was so excited. Okay, it's the first thing. And I'm once again filled with hope. How a fat kid is filled with hope that there's a chance where PE class might get rejected so they don't have to run at all. Just like that. I was once again filled with fucking hope. I click on my phone, I click on my mail app, I click on that email, and it literally opens off with, due to our servers crashing yesterday, we wish to declare once again the rejected status of rejected applicants so they're made aware of their status. Or in other words, I got the rejection letter once again because UBC was like, maybe the rejected people did not receive the email of their rejection. So I really got rejected twice from the same med school in the same year, which is pretty fucking impressive. I started laughing, and I told my friends, and they just said that's really shitty. And, I'm gonna be honest, in terms of rejection goes, one good thing did come out of it. You see, last year, in 2023, when I got rejected, I made a decision to make a podcast and, deal and cope with my rejection through that. This year, as I said earlier, motherfuckers, if I get rejected from UBC again, I'm making a fucking OnlyFans. So guess what, boys? I'm gonna make an OnlyFans. Now, I know what my friends who are listening to this podcast might be thinking. Nav, we want solo sexual content. And trust me, fellas, especially my friend Taylor, I'm not gonna be making that. I'm not going to be making any sexual content, you sickos. Content I'll be making, most likely for my OnlyFans, would probably be for the sole purpose that one day I can tell my kids that I had an OnlyFans, which I think would be funny as fuck. And secondly, I have no idea what content I'm going to make. But I think my top 3 trends is going to be content catered solely towards brown culture and the crazy stereotypes and the day in the life of brown people. Because trust me, okay, to all my white listeners, trust me. If you think that brown people live their life very calmly, it's not. it's a whole another fucking war zone out here, okay? Every single day, my mom goes to work. When she calls me at 6 p.m., it's never a call like, hi, son, how are ya? It's a call where it's a rolling dice. Either my mom is about to rain down hellscape on me because I missed doing a chore, or my mom's going to rain down a hellscape on somebody else, aka most likely a relative, because, well, there's fucking tea. But no sexual content. That is something I can't promise. And not because, I'm against making sexual content or something. It is because in order for me to make sexual content, I need to be having sex. And as you know, I'm a man of God, and I don't know what sex even is, let alone how to have it. So that's my plans for my OnlyFans. But, moving on from, coping with my fucking rejections and getting rejected twice, the Christmas season was heavenly. And I'm probably going to make some episodes about it because, my God, the amount of tea that's been flowing this winter was wild. But one of the things of Christmas season that happened to me this year that's never happened to is I fucking cried watching Christmas movies. Yeah, I'm not bullshitting this, okay? And I'm pretty sure one of my friends is going to bully me for being a pussy right now, but I don't give a shit. I have watched Home Alone since I have come to Canada, so 2011. Every year I watch Home Alone 1 and 2. The rest are not worth watching. I am not joking. I have never been sentimental watching Home Alone. But this year, in the first Home Alone, when, Kevin comes down the stairs and he thinks, he doesn't see mom. So he's, looking across in the living room. And then in the shot, you see the mom walks back in and she's like, Kevin. And he looks at his mom and she's like, I'm sorry, Kevin. And, he hugs the mom. I have never cried. This year, I fucking shed 2 goddamn tears. Okay, why was I so sentimental? I've seen that movie 1,000 fucking times. I can literally play out the whole movie, and I've never cried once, and I cried this movie. But it doesn't stop there. When I watched Home Alone 2, and, in the end, when, Kevin's standing in front of the Rockefeller Center's tree, and the mom runs to him, and they see each other, and they hug each other, I fucking cried then. Okay, not even that. The animated Grinch movie, okay? In the end, when, for those who haven't seen it, by the way, animated Grinch, the one that came out in 2018 or whatever, top tier. Chef's fucking kiss. In the end of that movie, everybody's sitting down and the Grinch gives a toast for feeling welcomed by the Who's in Whoville. I fucking shed 2 tears. And it was Christmas Day, and my parents looked at me and they're like, are you okay? And my dad was like, bro, this is a child's movie. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what's happening with me. So my Christmas Day and, binging Christmas movies were filled with tears for some apparent reason this year. And, you might be thinking, Nav, this might be the ripple effect from rejection from med school. And I'm going to be honest, no. I think I've just gone soft. I've gone super soft. I really think that. And I think all my friends have made me hella soft. So one of my resolutions for 2025 is I'm going to get hard. And because I'm a posh kid who looks like overly swollen Pillsbury Doughboy, I don't really know how to get hard. So I made a Google search really quick, and I think the first recommendation was to take Viagra, whatever the fuck that means. But the second recommendation was very interesting. It recommended if you want to get hard and become all puffed up and strong, I need to go to jail. So watch out for a new episode on the in the future where I commit a minor hate crime for the sole purpose that I can go to gym just so I can get swole and get hard. And the third recommendation that Google gave me was that I need to get in a lot more street fights. Apparently, street fights are going to make me hard. And, based on my stature and the amount of strength I have in my muscle, I think grade 6 kids are the perfect peak for me to fight. So I think I might be making a couple rounds to my neighboring middle school just so I can fight some kids. I think that's going to be my play, I might not get to Muhammad Ali level of a fighter, but trust me, I might be the next Jake Paul. Okay? Where, how Jake Paul fights older people? I'm going to be fighting young people. Predominantly kids. So that's going to be fun. But all in all, I cannot explain how happy I've been in the past year. And I cannot explain how happy this podcast has made me. Even now, I was feeling a bit lazy. I didn't want to record one. But I hopped on, and man, I'm having a lot of fun. It gets that creative juices going and coming up with the jokes on the spot and whatnots. And I'm glad. I am so glad that I got rejected in 23 because it allowed me to make this wonderful podcast. And I'm really glad I got rejected in 24 because it has once again filled me with so much desire, energy to do something creative and something fun and make something better out of my rejections. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for listening. And thank you for coming back to the podcast after me not making anything for a month. I promise I'm going to be active once again. But more importantly, if you know somebody who has the stature of a 6th grader or is a 6th grader, please convince them to fight me. Like I said, it's my goal this year to get hard because I've become a huge softie. And apparently street fights is the way to go. I don't know. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back next week with another episode where I'll talk about all the wild things I did during my Christmas time. Make sure you follow the show on socials. I'll be back next week with another brand new episode. Until then, take care. Hasta la vista. Bye-bye.